must educate our children on what? Fearlessness. A child must be able to speak out. Hello, beautiful people. It's me, your favorite hostess, Fumilayo Azore Ekezie, sharing my space, Tender Thoughts Connect, with you. Once again, I'm here to connect with you on issues that do matter, as with regards to a healthy relationship with your child as a parent, or even as a parent-to-be, and with your pupil or student as a teacher. On today's edition, we're going to be talking about something very exciting, interesting, and also worrisome. Yes, worrisome. So today I'll be talking about the dangers of extortion and sextortion. I'm sure some of you may not have heard of that word before. Sextortion, yes, is a newly coined word from extortion, where we have sex in it. Not to worry, I'm going to define what it means to you, my beautiful viewers. You may go ahead to like the video and of course share with others so that they may find it valuable. Also, it's time for us to be well informed, enlightened, and educated, for us to do much better, to make impact in the society. So we're still on the series of child safety. So today, like I said earlier on, I'll be focusing on the dangers of extortion and sextortion. Now we all celebrate the digital age, we celebrate the internet, but the internet also comes not only with blessings, but it comes with certain dangers that may affect the younger generation if we don't do the needful. So like I said earlier on in my introduction, I want to talk about the dangers of extortion and sextortion, because most times these practices are carried out through technology. But extortion sometimes is done physically, but you cannot rule out the involvement of technology, especially in sextortion. Now, we all know what extortion means. Simply, extortion can be defined as the practice whereby children are made to provide money, gifts, or services through manipulation, or by threat or manipulation by the perpetrators. While sextortion is a specific form of extortion, but for sextortion, the sexual images or videos of children are shared online for others to view, either for monetary gains or just for the fun of it. Sextortion is a relevant danger, or will I say a prevailing danger rather. Sextortion is a prevailing danger in our days. And so as parents, as educators, as caregivers, we must be on the lookout for the safety of the child. And it will surprise you that the perpetrators of these acts are people who surround these children. They are usually perpetrated by adults, sometimes foster parents, teachers in school or caregivers, and even sometimes their schoolmates. So what do these perpetrators do? They instill fear. That is emotional manipulation. They instill fear or the feeling of guilt on these children. They threaten them to carry out these acts. Most of the time, these children are never willing to do this. Have you ever wondered why you give your child money for his personal use or her personal use in school, and the child will come demanding for extra allowance? Have you ever bothered to ask questions or even investigate? Most times these children are being extorted. So they give out money meant for their personal use out of fear to the perpetrators of these acts. Remember, I said that these perpetrators use emotional manipulation. They threaten these children. And you know, most times, probably this child may have committed an offense, and then this perpetrator holds on to it and creates the feeling of guilt upon this child. And they say, if you don't do this, I'm going to report you to your parents. If you don't do this, I'm going to report you to the school authority. And some go to the extent of even threatening them with death. If you don't do this, you're going to die. You see that this thing, it's scary, it's frightening, it's heartbreaking. A good percentage of children or even adults today have gone through this. Many are still suffering from the trauma of extortion and sextortion. Like I said earlier on, they use fear or guilt. So I'm just giving you examples of how these things happen. Now let's talk about the sextortion. With the emergence of internet, children who are not supposed to be operating on the net or engaging on social media platforms have been exposed to such. A child who is not balanced mentally, a child who is unable to take certain decisions, has access to social media. Remember that the social media is a public diary. So most children have become victims of sextortion, whereby the perpetrators ask them to send their nude pictures, threatening them. Sometimes they cajole them. These people see children online at odd hours and they engage them in conversations. Oh, I love the top you're putting on. And you know the mind of a child. And then they go further and asking that child, could you just turn around? Could you just take off your top? You know, things like that I can't say on air. And this is how they lure these children into making nude, sending their nude pictures, or even carrying out sex. And you know, whatever goes online never leaves the net. So I'm going to talk to us, share with us on some tips on how to prevent these dangers in the lives of our children. So firstly, I will advise you as a parent to please know when to introduce the internet to your child. I think according to the policy of the use of internet, there is a specific age when one can use the net, especially social media. Some of us make this error of saying, oh, my child does not have any social media handle or is not involved on any platform. But yet, we release our phones to our children and they have your password. Some of them use your phone and then go to your social media platform and do what they want to do with it without your knowledge. So, apart from getting a particular age, the appropriate age for your child to be on the platform, there is need for you to supervise your child when your child is online. Even more important than supervising your child, you must educate your child on online safety. I have a video on that already, but there's no harm in sharing with you on this particular edition. There is need for you to put your child through the rules and regulation concerning the use of internet. You must let your child know that the internet is a public diary, that whatever you share online is for the public use. So your child should be very careful in sharing personal information and should be able to report at any point in time when they feel there is an intrusion on their privacy while online. And also, we must educate our children on what? Fearlessness. A child must be able to speak out. If you have open communication with your children, it helps you to understand whatever situation they may be going through. When there's open communication, your child will be able to express her feelings or his fears with you. So open communication is very important. It's a strategy we can always employ, not only to avert this sextortion, extortion, but many other vices around the world. It's very important that you should be able to converse with your child. They are able to open up to you. Another thing we must do is to teach our children to have self-will. Very important. You know, something with this internet is that children have this phobia. They call it fear of missing out. Because others are doing it, I want to do it. Because my friends are in it, I too want to do it. They want to have a sense of belonging. It is good to have a sense of belonging, but when it has to do with positive things. So we must learn to teach our children to have self-will, to be very decisive, to always know when to put a limit. They don't have to follow the crowd all the time. That a classmate of yours sent their nude pictures to a fellow classmate does not mean you have to do it. Tell that young lady, tell that young man that there is nothing to miss out. And this is where spiritual awakening comes in. Very important. Let your child know your faith and put it into practice, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian. It is very important. Spirituality has a way of helping us build our children positively. And also we must not instill fear into these children, because when you instill fear into them, they may hide things away from you. So we must help them to become confident of themselves. All right, remember we are talking about the dangers of extortion and sextortion. I believe you may have one or two things to say about this particular topic that we are addressing today. And if you do, kindly drop your comments in the comment section. I'll be looking forward to reading your comments. And you know, it will also help us to know how to deal with it. I'm talking about other viewers. So, in rounding up, if perchance your child or somebody you know has gone through this trauma, I will advise you to encourage such to seek for professional help. Very important, because most times these things are kept in secrecy. The child suffers and carries it into adulthood, and the child begins to feel isolated, alienated in the society. They always live in constant fear. They are wary of people around them. So it's very important that we seek professional help from them, for them, and also help them to speak out concerning this issue. I remain your hostess, Olufumilayo Azoro Ekezie, and this is Tender Thoughts Connect.